Oh, look at that. Is that going to be an ippon?
What's up, BJJ fans? And of course, the BJJ stands for Blind Judo Journey. I just got back from Tokyo where I did the IBSA Grand Prix, my second international outing with the GB squad. For those who don't remember, I went to Azerbaijan a couple of months ago where I got choked unconscious by the Paralympic champion in the first round.
He gets caught just hung on there for a little bit too long. But there he's up on his feet. He's a little bit more embarrassed than anything. He's fine.
This outing went so much better. We're going to take a look at it. Let's take a look at my first fight. This was against the Paralympic bronze medalist from 2020. And going into this, I knew he was going to be good. I knew this was going to be hard. But let's take a look.
Well, Miles Solomon of Great Britain about to step out here in this J2 73 kilos category, and he's up against Barikis of Lithuania. Did well there to stop that, and now directly into the attack in Newaza. Can he get around it? I think he might. Just needs to get that upper half there. So quick readjustment of the hands, and away they go. Immediate power goes into those grips there as soon as they've got them. Nice. Tomanagi there from Solomon. Well, Barikis is still to attack yet. It's been all Solomon so far. Look how aggressive he is here, Solomon. Every time he goes down to ground, he's on his back or going in for the Sangaku now. Can he just cross that off? Yeah, I think he can. And now climbs up. Well, this is a really good prospect here. For Great Britain with Solomon. Just needs to climb up there in order to apply pressure, and he does. Manages to do it. And oh, he taps out. He taps out there, and that was a really good win there for Solomon of Great Britain. Really good win, and you can see there that Barikis really had problems with that. That was excellent. Really good Newaza, very aggressive. Knew exactly what he was going for.
So throughout the day, my coach spoke to me over and over again about my Newaza, and my Newaza, my groundwork, was going to be my biggest asset. Throughout the day, we came up with this motif, calling it the darkness. Whenever you go to the ground, you drag people to the darkness, especially in a match where I might be a little bit outclassed standing. For example, in this one, you drag them to the darkness. He actually was doing a lot of drop throws anyway, which allowed us to transition. Managed to get my triangle locked in. Absolutely love the triangle. Get that tap. I was ecstatic. I just beat like the Paralympic bronze medalist, a world-class athlete, managing to use my Newaza. Thank you so much to everyone at Fortified Jiu-Jitsu for making me so good on the ground. I think for a lot of the people who have trained with me in my BJJ club, they will have felt this exact triangle, the reverse Sangaku, and they'll know what it is. And thank you so much for your training me to be so much better on the ground. Going into my second fight, now this guy's the world #1. This is another fight where I was probably going to be outclassed standing, but I kind of had one piece of knowledge that I was going to try and hit him with a certain throw. Let's take a look.
So this is a quarterfinal, and mat number 3, we've got the J2 73 kilograms. Oh, look at that. Is that going to be an ippon? Solomon straight into the attack there, and obviously knocked. Well, he's not sure whether it was a score or not, but he just really chased him. Oh, that's good good refereeing that. I mean, he just lands on his backside there. Didn't get a landing on the side or on the back. And that's an hip on there because he's just been taken over there, just caught straight on the hip. Osodagari there and flat onto his back. And that was a shame because that was all starting really so well there for Solomon.
Yeah, so I got whacked, but I did manage to get like the first exchange. I managed to take him down. I think my biggest issue going into this fight was that I was still buzzing off my previous fight and a little bit not prepared to fight like again, and I was still like, he's no number one, what can I really do? Which I think comes out in my first exchange where I tried to go for the Ouchi and I don't really commit. But I think that that's definitely something that won't happen again because you only get your first win once, so I won't have the sort of nervous energy coming out of that again. Hopefully, in my next competition. This was a short fight. This guy ended up getting silver, so we can learn from this and we can progress. Going into my third fight, my coach actually was telling me loads how I was going to be able to throw this guy and talking about the stand-up we were going to be doing. And I mentioned to him, hey, why are you mentioning the stand-up a lot more than talking about going for the darkness? And he went, well, because I think you might actually be able to throw this guy, which is awesome. So going into this, we had a lot of strategies. Let's take a look at how this fight went.
And Miles Solomon making a good account of himself here up against Concalves of Portugal. Oh, Sodagari wasn't far off, was it? And kind of conceded a score himself. And that's going to be a Wazari. Yeah, and Concalves scores with that Cianagi. Very low Seatoshi, and you can't see the actual landing of the upper part of the body, but the referee was looking straight at it. The referee's not quite happy with it, and so they've taken it off. So it didn't have the 90 degree. That was needed to get the score. Very capable of doing this, Miles Solomon. Wasn't far off again. Kataguruma there, and really good spirit, Miles Solomon, and I like that. well as J2s. They've just got to be a little bit more cautious on the edge. Good match between these two. They're having a look to see if that was a landing as well. Well, this is it again. He jumped on his back there. Oh, and they might give it. I think they're going to give that. That was a Wazari. When we look at it like that, he did make a big mistake there, but he did jump on his back as well. That was a Wazari scored, I thought. Are they going to give it? No. Wow. I am surprised. I mean, that did seem to have quite a good landing, that. A couple of occasions then that Miles Solomon, gods were looking up. Solomon, well, looking for the counter there, and Goncalves, well, he's the one that's committing, I have to say. For the shimmy wazzer, I think. Goncalves. Time has gone, and it means that now it goes to golden score. It's still anybody's match, this, and Solomon still might have a chance of fighting for a medal. And he tries straight away, straight out of the blocks there with that attack, and Solomon kind of waiting for it. Oh, what a Tominagi that was! Solomon pulled that out the bag there, and look at that! What a Tominagi, and he just takes him right the way over the top there, and he gets the nippon. It was. Whether it was a nippon or a Wazari, it was still enough in golden score to take him through. And he's going to be fighting for third place here, Miles Solomon. And that is a great result for him.
Yes. Now, I made a bit of a meal of that, I think, especially at the beginning. Basically, he did none of the things that we had anticipated and that we were planning for. So I had to rework my game plan as it was going. But I think I did a decent job. I think if you watch this fight, I get better as the fight goes on. Once you realise that he's kind of only going for this drop Kataguruma, it becomes quite easy to block. And I was just trying to find what throw I needed to do to be able to take him down. Going into the golden score, just managing to sit back perfectly into Tominagi when he's coming on to me. I think it was just the exact right throw at the time. The biggest takeaway from this particular fight was when he was trying to do these drop Katagurumas, drop Sinagis, he was doing them, waiting for me to then try and attack in Newaza and then attempting them again. Which was why at least one of the Wazaris got wiped off because his attack started in Newaza, but he was trying to catch me on the rebound, which is a good strategy. But once I realised he was trying to do that, I was much more able to defend it and just to not let him do that and trying to kill the attacks. This brought me on to my final fight. Again, going into this, my coach had given me a lot of advice on how he was going to fight, what he was going to do. He actually did do a lot of the stuff that we thought about, so let's take a look.
Really impressed with Miles Solomon. He's got a lot of spirit, and I think he's going to do some good things. A little bit inexperienced and just makes a couple of mistakes, but he'll learn from those. The more he's out, the better it will be for him. So Solomon gets a Shido. Well, every fight I've seen him fight so far, Miles Solomon, I've thought, well, you could win this. So it's not like he's miles away, he's not. Cianagi, and didn't quite get the rotation. It's a Shido apiece now, so it's anybody's match, this one. Well, he was right the way through there, wasn't he, for that Cianagi? 2 Shidos on the board now for Miles Solomon. It means he's got to stay ahead with these attacks. Well, again, does well to stay off it, doesn't he? Well, Ian Johns will be so pleased that he's got an athlete here, that young one that has potential, a lot of potential here. Be great, obviously, if he was fighting for a medal, but like I say, he's got quite good defence, he's got good spirit. His attacks are a little bit off kilter sometimes, but yeah, doing well here against Kim Dang-hoon. And again, Kim comes in for the Yoko Satemiwaza.
And with that, I got my 3rd Shido and lost the match. This fight was very frustrating. Now, I'm not going to make excuses, but this ref did not give me any time on the ground. I was not able to go to the darkness. Also, the passivity Shidos were a little bit unwarranted. I'm not going to make too much of a judgment, but I think a lot of other refs wouldn't have given that. But my biggest issue was just not getting the time on the ground, not being able to put my attacks in on the ground, which is frustrating. But definitely can take a lot away from this fight. I was definitely still in the fight. He couldn't throw me. So I still feel okay about it. We can go away and learn from this fight and improve. My biggest takeaway from this whole competition was how I did good. Yeah, I did really well. I managed to get 7th. I placed at my 2nd ever Grand Prix, which I'm really happy with. But not just that, I did well, but there were definitely errors on my part. There were mistakes. I think I'm very hard to throw. That's definitely something we learned from especially the Portuguese and the Korean match. But I'm very hard to throw, and I'm good on the ground. We need to maybe make my stand-up a little bit more directed, but there's a lot to improve. And being in a position where you're doing well, but you can still greatly improve, that's a brilliant position to be in. It means I'm on that upward trajectory. We're going to get even better. Our next competition will be in Germany in February, and let's try for final block. Chris Barry looks incredible in a suit. And for those who don't know, when you're in final block, your coach has to wear a suit. So I'm going to give him a good excuse to wear one. Cannot wait. And if you want to follow me in my blind judo journey into international visually impaired judo, then please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Soramade.